Hey, what's up everybody? It's DJ Alex Brown here today, displaying for you the SHehds 18 by 12 watt waterproof outdoor IP rated LED par light. And before we get into a deep dive on this light in this video, I would just like to say that I have put not a lot of physical testing, but a lot of time worth of testing into this light. And that's because I've actually had this light outside for about 3 weeks now. And honestly, I don't feel like I need to test it any longer because it's still chugging along after 3 weeks. So I imagine for the next week or two, it's going to continue to work just fine. So before we get into looking at the display and things like that, I just want to talk quickly about the light itself. It does have 18 12 watt LEDs. I'm not even going to do the math in my head on how much wattage is coming out of this because all I know is that it's bright. We'll show a couple demos of what it looks like on the house and stuff like that in just a moment. But I want to start off by talking about some of the features on the light, just the basics, and talking about the price. So this is a hex LED light, so RGB, A, W, and UV. That's red, green, blue, amber, white, and UV out of this light. So it's hex LED, just like a lot of the other lights you're going to see on the market today. It of course comes with a yoke. It has a heat sink, a digital display, nicer LCD display than I've seen on a lot of lights, and it has a RDM function. That's something that's not really pertinent to me, so I'm not really going to go too into that. But if that's pertinent to you, then hey, you know that's available on this light. This does take PowerCon in and out, as well as 3-pin DMX in and out. However, those connections are all designed to be waterproof on this light, so they are all set up for outdoor use. Now, this light is not rated to be thrown into a pool or anything like that. You know, it's meant to get rained on, and I've been letting it get rained on. We actually had a frost last night, and it's been handling all of that completely fine. Price-wise, this light is about $180 right now. If it's not on sale, which is going to be rare that you're going to find that on the SHehds website, but if it wasn't on sale, it would probably be about $195. Put that into perspective, that's a really good price for a light like this. I paid a couple of years ago for a American version of a much smaller light, about $175 per light. That was not water resistant or anything like that. So this light is really a great value. It's a great deal. Honestly, at the cost of this light, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't just buy bigger water resistant ones. Personally, I'll certainly be keeping this light to continue to use in my Halloween display and probably for other uses within the business. But this is a unique situation where I think this light is actually a good fit for people outside of the professional world as a low-cost, very good quality outdoor light fixture. You can use this for Christmas or Halloween or any sort of other outdoor light show you want to do on your house. It doesn't necessarily have to be for a DJ or production company or anything like that. Those are also great uses too. I don't want to diminish that value, but it's good for a lot of different uses.
I really quickly just wanted to include what actually comes in the box for this light. This is the box. It's about a foot by a foot, maybe 10 inches by 10 inches. Of course, you get a manual. You know I don't read manuals, so we'll just throw that off to the side here. And you get your water-rated, IP-rated. You can see there's some gaskets and stuff on here. This is your water-rated DMX cable. This looks like a very high-quality, probably not legally Neutrik, but a dupe, we'll say. But really high-quality ends on this cable. And then you would also normally have your water-resistant PowerCon cable in here. I have that obviously outside with the light. And this is where the bracket goes. I already had that screwed onto the light. Just one quick note, it does come kind of flat packed, so you do have to screw that bracket onto the light before the first time you use it. And then the light would just be sitting in here, and this is the sticker that you're supposed to put on the light. And that's everything that comes in the box. There's nothing under this. But as you can see, the light is packed very well in the box. It has this high quality foam that it's packed into.
let's talk about some of the water testing I've done. I've obviously left this out. It's been rained on. It's had some frost on it. It has water sitting on it right now. I've poured water directly on it. I'm not going to throw it into a pool or do anything too crazy, but it seems like for reasonable outdoor use, this is easily water resistant and reliable for that use. It's very well rated. So far, I am super pleased with this light. I would say if you're interested in a light, you're looking for a light like this, you need to buy this SHehds 18 by 12 watt LED uplight or par light, whatever you'd like to call it. I'd like to break for a moment, pick this light up, and actually show you. I'm hopefully not going to piss my neighbors off too much, but I just want to shine it across the yard and stuff so you can see what it looks like when I actually take that light and see what it compares to throughout the yard and kind of roughly around my neighborhood. Again, hopefully I'm not going to piss the neighbors off. All right, everyone, here we go. So I got the light here just in the yard there. You can see it's lighting up the other houses. Let's see. There you go. It's lighting up pretty much my entire yard. You can see a little spillover onto the house next door. So definitely a very powerful light. Lights up really my entire house here. I'm just going to switch over to daytime mode here, where I'm going to take a little bit at a look of the display and some of more of the shell and the features on the back of this light, the power con in and out, the DMX in and out, and stuff like that. So we're going to go look at that right now. Okay, so let's take a look at the back of this light. You have your DMX input with this rainproof cover here. Same thing for your output. There is a little push right here that's also very clearly rubberized in there. And then the same, of course, for your power con. Just trying to get this thing back in there. So your power con in and out both have this weatherproofing. And it's worth noting that this power con here, when you push it in, you can feel that there is some like weatherproof rubberization in there, because it's a lot stiffer when you're turning it than just a typical power con. You do have this very fancy LCD display. I've never really seen a display like this, to be honest with you. They're not actual buttons. They are touch activated, so we'll talk about that in a second, but I just want to take a look at the light as a whole itself here as well. This is all, it seems to be aluminum. It's definitely not plastic, but it's all very high-end casing. You can see that the SHehds logo is even extruded into the light here. Now, this you might think would be a fuse, and perhaps it is, but I think that this is actually a vent or drain if needed. I think that's what that is for there. So one of the things I have noticed, I'm not sure if you can change this setting, and I'm not sure if you can see it super well on the display, but so there's this password. I don't know if there's actually a password on it. I'm sure you can change that, but if you adjust the color, so like I like to set it to like an amber for Halloween, if you have this turn off, because I am using this as part of my Halloween display, it'll reset back to color 1. So after I recorded this video, I actually noticed that the light would now come on to the set color of amber that I had it set on, and it didn't just set back to color 1 every time. So I'm not sure exactly what I did to get it to do that, but it's definitely possible. Of course, you have all the typical display settings that you would expect, the different colors, effects, sound mode. I'm curious how well the sound works on this, because I'd imagine it needs to be pretty well sealed. So it is a complicated menu. You can see all the temperatures and stuff like that. So this is a very high-end light. You can see all of these different settings you have here, all these specs. This is almost like as complicated as a moving headlight as far as the display and things. And my assumption, based on this being my first IP-rated fixture, is that that's because this is fully enclosed, and you can see it has a very large heat sink here around the entire edge of the light to keep it cool. That's obviously very important for this use case. I will note here, I think I may have damaged this power con cable by having it basically sitting on it and at a very bad 90-degree angle like that. So it is still working, but I'm probably going to need to replace this wire, unfortunately. The only other thing I'd like to note, I'll show you some video here of actually taking a look at the light. But all right, hey everyone, so we are outside in front of my house right now, taking a look at the Halloween display. And I want to point out, if you can't already see it, the SHehds 18 by 12 watt light that we're looking at in the video today. If you can't tell, it's right back there. It's lighting up the entire house. For reference, we obviously have the floodlight on the house there, if you want a little reference there. These inflatables have very small LEDs in them. And then there is a cheapy dollar store LED black light just lighting this spot up right here. Now, I do think it's a little bit deceiving. If you step back, you can see the true power. So if we step back here, you can see that this light is lighting up the entire side of the house. This is probably the most powerful par light that I now have in my inventory. And you can see it just completely overwhelms and spreads out that entire side of the house compared to these little smaller lights here. That one there is another dollar store like red LED. It's really super dim, especially compared to this light. So just as kind of an idea of how much space this can light up, if I had this placed a little bit better, like right in the center here, I could probably light up the entire front of the house with this light. All right, so let's talk about some pros and cons of this light. Honestly, I really have mostly pros. It's affordable, it's bright, it's outdoor rated, water resistant. It has PowerCon in and out, DMX in and out. If you've watched my channel before, you know that I am a little bit more of a fan of IEC, but I do think that would be harder to implement from a water resistance aspect, and also PowerCon is just the way things are moving. So as much as I would like to stick in the old ways, PowerCon is the way to go, especially I think for the water resistant connection. You can, by the way, feel when you turn the PowerCon in that there's clearly some gaskets and things in there to maintain that water resistance. So it's clearly different from a traditional PowerCon. Now, the only one downside that I have for this light is it seems I may have damaged the power cable, the way it goes into the light, and the way the yoke or bracket sits if you have it on the ground. It seems to have pinched the wire, and I have to have the wire sitting in a very specific spot to have the light be turned on. Now, I've left it since I touched it, and it's come on every single night since then, but you know, I might have to replace the power cable after I take it inside from this Halloween display usage. So that is one slight downside, probably a slight oversight just because of the way the light sits in the bracket and how deep the light is to have the heat sink and all that, the technology that's inside of this light. It's just a small design oversight there. All right, guys, so let's wrap this video up. What would I rate this light for a star rating? I would say 5 out of 5, no problem. I'd give it a 6 out of 5, honestly. This is a great light, great price. And honestly, if, like I said earlier in the video, if you're in the market for something like this light, just buy this light. I mean, it's a great deal. It's water resistant, and it just has all of the features that you could possibly want. Thank you guys for watching the video to this point. If you did, I appreciate it. I do have other reviews out for SHehds lights on my channel that if you want to check those out, I'm sure there'll be some pop-up cards, but I'll also leave some stuff in the description. I will have another SHehds light review coming out soon after this, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel. You know where to do that. And if you enjoyed the video, leave me a like so that more people can see this video. Once again, everyone, thanks for watching. I'm DJ Alex Brown, and until next time, peace.